Okay. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
I liked
Hell
it.
yeah!
As
Remember
a kid,
when
I
it
didn't...
started out as Grim and Evil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just
That
made...
was like the original idea.
Yeah. I liked how they had, the two stories. The one with your,
The thing that we're literally talking about, John?
No. Billy and Mandy, and then...
Evil Con Carne.
Yeah. Evil Con Carne was honestly my favorite one.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I just liked the idea. They had a brain that could talk, and then for some reason a stomach that talked.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, and like it just said nothing but "I'm hungry," and then there was words of wisdoms here and there in like some episodes. But other than that, you had a woman who just wanted to fuck a brain.
And then a guy who was always betraying him or something.
Yeah, but yeah, that was.
But they definitely chose the right half of that show to turn into its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Billy and Mandy's like pretty solid throughout. It's just like really obnoxious in a lot of different ways.
Billy, for example.
Yeah.
Well, I think they had to toe that fine line with like, cause you need to get creepy shit on like Cartoon Network. You need to have like some really dumb stuff to like balance it out. Otherwise, it'll come across as like you're just like showing occult stuff to like kids.
I mean,
like,
You deranged motherfuckers.
Yeah, that too. But like, I feel like Cartoon Network only just like when you're saying it balances it out. I feel like I have to disagree with you there. It doesn't balance it at all. It's like you're only seeing a lot of dumb characters like being focused on the most, while you have someone like Mandy who's actually brilliant and messed up.
I'm just talking about in terms of like getting out like some of the more grotesque content that they had on there. Like the episode where like they turn their hourglasses upside down and they start reverting into fetuses.
Oh yeah.
And like
That was the best part. I don't know what's wrong with that.
there was like another episode, something to do with like this chicken creature that like lived in the nearby cave or whatever. I don't even know. And it was just like disgusting looking.
My favorite thing about Billy and Mandy was either the crow or the raven that always sat next to the fireplace, sitting on the chair, smoking a pipe.
Oh yeah.
And it was just so aggressive and rude. And my favorite parts was when the camera would just close up on him and then scream. It was like, unspeakable! And then go back.
Yeah, I wish I could remember an actual quote from that guy, but yeah, all the episodes with him were fucking golden.
I remember the part where they make Mandy smile in like a beauty pageant.
Yeah.
He starts like destroying reality. And he's like, "You've messed with the natural order!" As like his reality is also crashing. Oh god.
Any words you gotta say, Connor?
God, there's this one segment from this episode where I forget the context of the episode, but it's like they get like dwarves to fight like Keebler elves and stuff.
Yeah.
Something like that, and they really hype up the battle. Like everyone's gonna like, it's gonna be a crazy battle, and basically instead of showing the battle, they cut away to like this slow animation of like a koala eating leaves like for like I think it's like 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes. And they have this like drill sergeant like narrating the battle being like, "Oh god, if you saw what happened to that elf, Jesus Christ."
Yes, I remember that. It was supposed to make fun of...
I'm not doing it justice, but like that really sealed the deal for me in terms of like me appreciating that show.
I liked when they did the whole spoof of Lord of the Rings as like they had to make a food business. Like that's what it was all about after, they threw the ring out.
Right.
Like they made a serious thing. But there's still some sort of like separation, like, bitterness of each
There was
group of
really
people.
weird reference episodes. Like there was one that was a reference to the god emperor of Dune.
Yeah.
Where Mandy was
Wait,
a
really?
warm
Oh,
woman
yeah.
full of cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yes. I also remember they had a Harry Potter episode, except it was Lord Moldy Butt
I remember that episode being really good too.
Yeah, no, it was great. I loved how they made like Harry Potter just look like a douche, and like he got what he deserved. Like,
Yeah.
what's your punishment? Not being expelled. What is it? Basically, a coliseum where you're gonna die by being eaten by the the lions or something.
There's also a ton of Voltaire music in Billy and Mandy.
Yep.
In the land of the dead.
Okay, so I think we could say Billy and Mandy, Adventures of Billy and Mandy was a
Solid show.
very. All right, so what's the next one?
Okay, so next one. Oh, interesting. Invader Zim.
Yep.
Diarrhea.
I love Invaders.
I mean, without a doubt, Invader Zim is probably the root of our eccentricness. I mean, for me, Ren and Stimpy was the root of my eccentricness. It makes a lot of sense.
I definitely owe a lot of my humor to like Invader Zim.
I
I
owe
love-
what I laugh at the world. You know, okay, maybe not that. But, like, I appreciate the world more and laugh better because of Invader Zim's like weird episodes. Like, I love how they just turned like they discovered meat in 1969. And, like, I'm like thinking, wait, like as an 8-year-old, I'm thinking that's not true, or is it? 1969. My parents were around at that time.
I mean, like, Jonah and Vasquez's work in general is definitely... It's not, like, incredibly deep,
We did it.
and it's always very, like, goofy, but it's something I always appreciate, even, like, going back to Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Yeah.
My favorite part about the show was that no matter how bad Zim fucked up, humans were still too stupid to realize he wasn't an alien.
Yeah.
Like, there's episode, like, goddamn, the Dark Harvest episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
He just becomes an organ monster. He steals everyone's organs, but they're like, oh, you're like a healthy human boy. Look at all those organs you're filled with.
That's another thing. Like, think about it. You have people, like, showing organs in a show, whereas if you were to compare it to today, if you show organs, parents would say, like, my child's gonna be traumatized because of this.
Well, that's why, like, that was a major reason why Invader Sim never got a third season.
Yeah.
They had the
Yes.
whole thing planned out. You can, like, read the scripts online. Actually, no,
Well, yeah,
aren't they
'cause
bringing
as
it
part-
back?
Yeah. They
Yeah,
have
I thought they
to.
did bring
But
it
they're gonna-
back a little bit.
They're
well, it
probably gonna
started
edit.
out. Nickelodeon had this idea of, yeah, let's make our shows more adult friendly. Let our shows grow up with our audience. They gave the money to Invader Zim and said, actually, no, change our mind. We already gave our money, so yeah, let's let Invader Zim go with it.
Wait, what?
The comics are also really good.
Yeah.
Before we move on, though, I do want to say, like, again, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac is a very flawed work in a lot of ways. It's very unnecessarily violent and just kind of nihilistic and stupid. But there's a concept in it that's really stuck with me for a long time, because I think it's a really good, like, it would be a really good groundwork for something.
And what is that?
The idea of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac is that, like, Johnny can literally get away with doing anything, and he's goaded into, like, murdering people by these weird cosmic entities, so that he can paint this one wall with fresh human blood, so that something doesn't come out of it. He doesn't know what is on the other side. He just knows that he has to keep painting this wall, or it's gonna come and, like, break into the real world. And those two concepts together, I think, are just really neat. Like, really solid frameworks for a horror story.